I buy a lot of collectibles. I sell a lot of collectibles. But you will not believe how many I bought, sold, and then bought back. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme channel. Big portion of this channel is all about Extreme Collectibles. I'm Mr. X. Today, we are doing a twofer, two topics in one. First, we're going to go over all of the statues that I bought, sold, and then rebought. Second, we're going to go along my decision process when selling a statue that could have some useful tips for you. So let's jump in right away because we have got to cover all the statues that I bought, sold, and then rebought. So how many total of those? Zero, none, zilch, nada. When I sell something, I sell it. I'm not going to buy it back. I'm not that indecisive. I mean, I'm not a woman. Sorry. It's 2022. That was probably offensive. I'm not a childbearing person. No, on all serious note, I haven't bought back any statues that I've sold. And honestly, while I've been tempted to talk more about it in this video about statues I regretted selling, I don't think I ever would. And I know I took a knock at people who have vaginas, so I do apologize about that. No, I don't. That was fucking funny. And I know a lot of collectors actually do this practice. So again, I'm not knocking them. It's just not my forte. Because when I sell a statue, I'm done. I sold it. And that's what I want to cover on today's video. I think there's going to be some tips for you guys because it seems like there's been a lot of talk lately that you can't sell a statue and selling a statue is really hard. And the statue community is just not in buying mode right now. I totally disagree with that. Well, I definitely have seen sales slow. Despite what's going on with the world economy, I still think it's a pretty lucrative business as a whole, the industry. Also, too, I would highly recommend you go check out this video right here where I talk about when you're selling a statue, should you just try and make money off of it? When I sell a statue, that is not my goal. Sometimes it's an unintended consequence. But let me walk you through some things that I do when I'm deciding to sell a statue and that whole process. Really, this is personalized for me. I'm not going to talk about make sure you protect your payment and things of that nature because I've covered that in so many different videos. This is just, hey, this is what goes through my mind. This is why I price things the way I do. This is the process I use. So let's dive into that if you're still watching. Now, when I'm going to sell a statue, the biggest determining factor when I sell a statue pretty much, number one is, what am I least attached to? That's pretty easy. You look at things in your collection, and I find most of the time it's stuff that I'm not as attached to the source material. Maybe the statue just looks cool. Not always. But then I kind of factor that in, well, if I sold this statue, how much space would it give me? Space is really my biggest determining factor. And it goes a little bit farther than that. It's not just space of that individual statue, but when I'm looking for space, I'm looking for a shitload of space, like clearing off an entire shelf or two. If you catch my for sale videos at the end of every month, you'll notice for the most part, with some exception, when I'm selling something, I'm selling almost an entire line. Because I like to keep lines of statues together. With few exceptions, I don't like one-offs. So if I'm going to do a decent sized sale, and I would say that's anywhere from 3 to 20 statues, I'm going to look at what will give me the most room that I'm least attached to. And those two factors can weigh different amounts depending on that specific area or that specific statue. I do not consider price at all. I do not consider, hey, I'll make a profit on this statue. Hey, I will get $300 for this statue and $3,000 for this statue. While I do care about money, I don't care about that aspect of it at all. I'm more looking at how my collection is going to be displayed and what space I need and what statues, honestly, I could sell. Then get 40-yard line seats in the 12th row at the Broncos game on Sunday. I'm surprising Mrs. X. So after I've determined what I want to sell, then I figure out price. And there's a few different ways I do this. And for the most part, it depends on how busy I am. If I have time, and I know it's a common statue, I will go check eBay sold listings. Sometimes that gives me some good information, sometimes it doesn't. But generally, if I see a consistent price around there, I'm going to go about 10 to 15% less than that. I used to check Facebook buy-sell trade groups, but I've left so many of those groups, I'm really not in those anymore. That's still something you can do because a lot of times you'll see what people were posting for sale and if it's sold, if they left the price up there. So when I don't have a starting point, I'll usually just go around retail. And I usually go about 20% around retail, so either 20% above or 20% below, based on what my gut feeling of the popularity of that statue. Well, where do you get your gut feeling, Mr. X? I guess it comes from a lot of places. How much hype the video I got when I launched, how much people are talking about, how often I do see a want to buy of that specific piece. There's no like definite analytics, which would probably be a smart way to do this. But for me, time is more important than money. So honestly, a lot of times I just guess. And for the most part, I know when I guessed wrong. When I post something and it sells instantly and 50 people want it, I probably went too low. That's almost a sure sign. Well, not a sure sign, but I've noticed this sometimes when I post something and it takes 3 or 4 months to sell. Maybe I'm too high. Not always. Sometimes people just are not looking for that piece, but maybe I'm too high. Now, you may have noticed during these videos, again, time is more important than money for a lot of us. I will actually box up all my pieces way before the video launches. And I do that for a few reasons. Number one, it takes hours and hours and hours to box these up. And if I put it up for sale, I don't have hours and hours and hours to box it up after someone's paid me. I really like when someone's paid me for me to be able to get it out in the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, in that time, I will check for flaws. Now, this is almost a double-edged sword. I'm doing this pretty quickly, so sometimes I miss those flaws. But it gives me a good opportunity to check those flaws before I even launch the for sale video or post or however you're going to sell your statues, which we'll talk about in a moment. I also then get the dimensions of each box because I travel all the time. So a lot of times when you guys email me to buy a statue, I'm actually traveling, but I can create the label right then and there and have Mrs. X take it to UPS or schedule a UPS pickup at home. Which leads me to my next topic. I use Pirate Ship. You know, Gem Mint did a video on this a long time ago. It's a fantastic service. I've never had any issues with them, and they are generally cheaper than a lot of commercial rates. So pirateship.com, go on there. It's very easy to use, and I ship everything through UPS. And I've talked about this before. I never insure anything. The reason for that is I've had about 6 times where UPS abused the shit out of the box, and I filed a claim, and every single time I was denied. I think insurance is useless. I've shipped probably 200 plus statues. The insurance on that was probably anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 if I had insured everything, and I didn't get anything paid out. So while I pack things the best way I can, I prepare for breakages, which is so weird because ones I think will break come in fine, and ones I'm sure won't actually do end up breaking. I would say about 1 in 10 statues that I ship have some type of breakage that the buyer alerts me about. And I'm sure there are some that the buyer just fixed themselves. They do what I do. It's not a big deal, so they take care of it. So I'll either offer a full return or monetary compensation. But I'm always prepared for that. I'm prepared to lose money just in case. There are times when I know people are bullshitting me. I will lose $1,000 just to prove them wrong. But I will always offer those options and take care of buyers. But you have to prepare for that. You have to leave some money behind. If you sell a statue for $2,000, I would leave a couple hundred behind in case something happens. And you can watch my for sale videos for more details on all this. I talk about it each time. They launch at the end of the month. A good reason to make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've subscribed to the channel and hit that bell notification. Because personally, I have that opportunity to reach 25,000+ people and sell my statues through YouTube. So they go pretty well. I've heard from people I know decent in the statue community that tell me they're having a hard time selling their statues. I honestly haven't been. Maybe it's because I price them competitive. Although I know some of my statue comrades have done that as well. Yeah, I call them comrades. But I still think there's a huge buying market out there. I'm not worried about the statue community blowing up, even if there's a horrible downturn with the economy. But this is a hobby that constantly churns in new people that have lots of space and lots of money. And it churns out people who run out of space or money or both. There is still a shitload of money out there to be spent. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. So kind of a different video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, please drop me a like. I really appreciate that. It really helps the channel. I don't know why I just stuttered, but I did. So subscribe and do all that other stuff too. I'm going to go. It's early in the morning and I have a conference call with your mom. I haven't been drinking.